What's up YouTube couples, here back in another video where we talk cards, money, investing. Welcome to my first ever weekly sales recap, and this is week 1 of 2025 from the Finance Collect weekly auction number 155 that ended a few days back. So the reason why I'm documenting this sales recap is just for me to be able to look back next time on some of the more interesting cards that I sold during the year. They're kind of like good for me to reflect on some of the decisions I made. Maybe to look back to see whether or not was it the right decision to sell some of these cards at a point in time. Maybe have a good laugh about it. So more for my documentation purposes and hopefully for your entertainment as well. Okay, I won't be going through every single card on the list, just to talk about some of the interesting cards as well as interesting points that I would like to note in this particular weekly auction. Okay, so let's get right to it. So 23 cards sold this week for a total bid price of $35,741. As you know, Finance Collect has a 20% buyer's premium, so therefore the total gross value sales is about 42 to 43K in total. Now obviously I take a bit less than that because of fees, which I will touch a bit right after this. So first 3 cards you can see here, they're all raw cards. Now I don't normally sell raw cards on Finance Collect. These are actually consigned, but I want to draw some special attention to the grading company here, which is a CGC and CSA Certified Authentic. Previously Finance Collect partnered with MBA, and they do have that heat map thingy. It shows the condition of the cards. I found that pretty useful back in the days. Stop doing that. CGC doesn't have any of this, and it's just certified authentic. You still pay the same $3 for the fee as well. And you might be wondering, eBay is authenticity guarantee is free, so why am I being charged $3, and is it worth paying extra $3? Well, let's do a bit of illustration here. So for this particular Michael Jordan, you can see it sold for $440. Bid price after buyer's premium is $528. So if you were to sell this on eBay for the same price, you probably net at $454, taking into account 14% of eBay's fees and all the payment stuff. So you net about $454. So for me here, you can see a seller net here is $495. So by virtue of me selling this card on Finance Collect on the dealer program, I just paid an extra $40 compared to if I was to sell this on eBay. Obviously, my dealer program is on a higher tier, but even if a second tier as well, you get 110% on the bid price, which is extra 10% on top of the $440. So you net about $484. Compared to $454, it's an extra $30. So even if you minus extra $3 of authentication fee they need to pay, you still have extra $27 into your pocket. So pretty good stuff. Okay, moving on. Let's go for some more interesting stuff. Let's have a look at this Anthony Edwards 2021 Immaculate. Okay, you can see here this is a PSA Authentic order of 10. This is number 10 auto patch of Anthony Edwards. Now I graded this card myself, and you'll probably be wondering, why didn't I send this to PSA with a numerical grade as opposed of getting it just an auto grade? Now, from my own personal experience, 2021, especially Immaculate, has a lot of surface issues, a lot of fine hairline scratches. Okay, on a lot of cards I've went through. Kate Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Franz Wagner, even I got the SGA after this as well later on. So many. Okay. To the point that I didn't feel it was worth sending to PSA just to get a PSA 7, PSA 6. So that didn't do right. Most of the time, when I see any of this, I probably want to resell it back raw. But in this case, this Anthony Edwards is number 10, so I found that a bit special. Together with SG as well, you'll see later on. But end of the day, this Anthony Edwards only netted me $956, and I was thinking I'm on in for about $1,300, so it's a loss for me. So it is what it is, right? More so Anthony Edwards not really the hottest guy, compared to where he was towards the end of last year, especially in the playoffs. So maybe it's just bad timing. Okay, moving on. Got this Shaquille O'Neal Kaboom here. I bought this purposely for the Hong Kong show that I went end of last year. I paid $900, thinking that Kabooms were pretty popular in Hong Kong because when I was at the Macau show the previous year, Kabooms were pretty in demand. So paid $900 for this, which I thought was a good price. Couldn't get anybody to even inquire, but brought it home, sold it for 1100. So pretty stoked to make some money off this particular kaboom. Okay, moving on. This is the SGA for the 2021 macro I was talking about. So the auto patch, nice 3-color patches, same deal with Anthony Edwards. Had a lot of surface hairline, I would say scratches or hairline marks on it. So it sold for 1300. I think I'm right on the money on this SGA. So with a stronger numerical grade, maybe even a PSA 8 may have gotten maybe about like 15 to 1600. But like I mentioned before, I wasn't confident on the numerical grade, and I didn't want this to come back a PSA 6 or a 7, which will really hurt the value of this card. Okay, move up. 2 players here. Tyrese Haliburton. Man, this one. So once the RPA, you can see here, number 25. This is the horizontal. The only thing that doesn't work for this one, he has a nice 3-color patch, but the auto is an auto 9. Maybe a bit of streaking, or just a little bit of streaking, but didn't feel it was worth downgrading it to an auto of 9. This sold for 1700. I bought this particular Tyrese to bring to Hong Kong for 2000 bucks. Obviously, no inquiries in Hong Kong, and just sold it for 300 bucks loss. This one, 2022, this is a Platinum 101. I graded this myself, PSA 9. I paid about 2300 all in, including upgrading, but pretty bumped up to only get 1900. But Tyrese is not having the best year. Okay, Indiana's doing okay, but Tyrese kind of like he's not his usual self. So you can see why his popularity has gone down a bit for his cards, and you can see why his prices are a bit on the lower side. Could have held this a bit longer, maybe, but I just want to keep my cards moving, keep it flowing, and I'll move on to better things. Okay, moving on. Talk about SGA, right? So I have a SGA here. It's a 2019 flawless vertical auto patch. Okay, number 25. I bought this from the Finance Collect weekly auction. I paid about 1700, and my intention is to actually grade and to bring this to Hong Kong show, but it didn't come back on time. So I had to settle to sell this on a weekly auction, and it closed for $3,200, which ironically, if I were to get it back from Hong Kong for the show and somebody would offer me, let's say 26 or 2700, I would have taken this deal pretty easily. Nice 4-color auto patch here. So 3200, pretty stoked. Next up, this was another card that I brought to Hong Kong, which is pretty funny. Not the best looking looker, you must ask me, but it's after all still a Black Final 101 PSA 10. So obviously this is going to make it into somebody's PC, and I bought this, paid 1900 for this particular looker, and I priced it at 2600 when I was in Hong Kong. Willingly accept if somebody would give me about 2400, but again, I had some inquiries. People wanted to pay me 2k, but it's like so they could see the comms, because they could see the comms that I paid 1900 for it. But when I brought it back, I sold it here, and it netted me 3200 bucks. So it's pretty awesome. Net profit about 1300. Okay, this Kobe. Correct. So 2013 NT Colossal number 60, one of the rare high numbers. You don't see number 60 these days. So this is 1 out of 60, and I bought this from a local guy in a Hong Kong show. Now he was asking 3600 for this particular Kobe. Now we were trying to do a deal for a Tracy McGrady essential credentials, I think, okay, but we couldn't come to a particular deal. I had to settle just to pick this Kobe, and he wanted 3600 for this Kobe. I was below 3k on this one. He didn't want to move on the price, so in the end I picked up the Anthony Hardaway Noise Boys. They can see up here together with that Kobe for 3600. So which means I had this valuation on this Kobe for about 3k. Happy to actually sell it for maybe 35, 36, which I think that was the roughly fair value. So he was not off with that Kobe valuation, but obviously I need to make some money, all right? So I had this price in the show, after I got it for 36, had no takers. So then now back on the auction floor, sold for 4700 bucks. I cannot be more than happy on the outcome. Now, in case you're wondering, right, whether or not any of these auctions has been paid, you can see here the complete column here. I see complete means these auctions have been paid. So if let's say it's still running here, it means it's still pending payment. But once it's complete, these auctions are completed and paid for. Last card, 2020 Anthony Edwards. This is the flawless rookie auto number 5 emerald. Now I got this in a trade in Hong Kong. You can see my Instagram post here on my pickups, including the Kobe you saw earlier. And this one I traded a flawless Stephen Curry number 25 auto seal. I traded impeccable Jamoran auto RPA, BGS 9. I think it was number 299 or was it number 49? I can't really remember. And together with SGA 2022 Immaculate Patch Auto, that's number 225. Okay, so 3 cards for 1. I believe the valuation on this particular Anthony was about 4K. Happy to pick this up at that price, considering that I believe the number 25 closed for about like 2,800, 3K. So I knew this card was going to do quite well if I had to resell it, maybe $45,000 to $5,000, but as you can see here, net me close to 6,500, so I cannot be happier with these results. So in general, pretty strong week 1 for me. Total sales about 40 odd grand. Minus some bit of consignments here, so I still net about like 40 grand in total. Pretty happy. Most of them did pretty well, especially some of the stuff that I brought back from Hong Kong. So I'm gonna try and do these recaps pretty often. If I see more interesting stuff on weekly. Next week, 156, I don't have that many things up, but I definitely do have some interesting stuff for weekly auction 157. So I'm going to see if I can make this a regular series, and I hope you guys get something out of this, just to get some insights on some breakdowns, being very transparent on the breakdowns of my sales that I made on this platform. Alright, do like, subscribe for my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next one. Cabos out.